What is going on, my people? We are finally back again, bro. I hope everyone's doing absolutely fantastic. You done know already, fam. Miguel's favorite is back again, bro. Here to preview everything that there is to preview for Matchday 32 in the Premier League. In addition, fam, I think it's also worth mentioning that two fixtures that will be postponed from this match day include Man United versus Chelsea, as well as Brighton versus Man City. Both Man United and Man City will be playing in the FA Cup semi-finals this weekend. And we're also going to talk about the Champions League semi-finals, fam. We have Man City versus Real Madrid, and also a massive Milan derby between AC Milan and Inter Milan, which should be epic. If any of that stuff does interest you, fam, stick around. Please make sure to like, share, and subscribe. Tell a friend, and let's get it cracking, bro. So there's really only one place to start, and that is, of course, at the Emirates Stadium, where Arsenal will be taking on Southampton this Friday, April 21st. For me, this is a must-win game for the Arsenal. They've bottled their last two games, so they need to win this game if they want to remain in the driving seat for the Premier League title. And as for Southampton, they sit at the bottom of the table. I struggle to see them getting any kind of result from this game. However, I do think Theo Walcott will score in this game, fam. I mean, he's going up against Arsenal at the Emirates. He has to score in this game, I feel. So with that being said, I am going to go for a 3-1 win for the Arsenal. I do think they concede. I'm not convinced that they'll keep a clean sheet. Moving on, we do of course head over to Craven Cottage, where Fulham will be taking on Leeds United. Fulham, they've done well to get the win in their last game against Everton, but in a way that victory was kind of handed to them because Everton's defense was absolutely awful. And as for Leeds United, they got pinned to the wall like a red light district team, bro, when they took on Liverpool on this past Monday. They lost 6-1. Should be close, but Fulham for me are my favorites to win this game. I think I'm going to go for a 2-1 win for Fulham. Moving on, we do of course head over to Selhurst Park, where Crystal Palace will be taking on Everton. What a turnaround for Crystal Palace ever since the reintroduction of Roy Hodgson. It's been champagne football, fam. A man like Eze has been in the form of his life. Crystal Palace, they've been doing well. Most importantly, they've been scoring goals, something that we didn't really see from them before, fam. So crazy turnaround. Maybe they keep their run. I reckon they will. And as for Everton, they were awful in their last game. They were scraping points before that here and there, but their last game they were absolutely awful. The defense was dreadful, man. I do favor Crystal Palace going into this game, and I do think they'll get the win. So with that being said, I am going to go for a 2-0 win for Crystal Palace. I do think they'll get the clean sheet. Everton, I don't know. It would be crazy to see if they get a draw. Moving on, we do head over to Anfield, where Liverpool will be taking on Nottingham Forest. Liverpool, as mentioned already, done really well in their last game against Leeds United. And as for Nottingham Forest, I think they were really disappointing, fam. Losing 2-0 to Man United, I think they really let themselves down. The final third was really, really bad in that game. Yeah, however, this for me seems like one of those games that Liverpool would bottle. At least for me, it really does seem that way. For whatever reason, this season for Liverpool, they've managed to do really good in one game, and the next game it all goes tits up. That has just been their thing this season. I don't know why that is. So yeah, with that being said, I am going to go for a 1-1 draw in this game. Liverpool are obvious favorites. I think they should win this game, but I have my doubts, and that's why I'm going to go for a 1-1 draw. We then have Brentford taking on Aston Villa. Brentford in the last game against Wolves were pretty poor. I think it looked like an off day, fam. They were never really able to get into the game, and Ivan Toney was absolutely pocketed. But besides that game, they were in pretty decent form. And Aston Villa, they've been in great form, fam. Ollie Watkins specifically has been in the form of his life. He's been scoring non-stop. Aston Villa, for obvious reasons, are my favorites going into this game. However, I know their last game on the road was against Leicester City, and they did scrape that result. That's the only thing that is playing in my mind when it comes to away performances. I'm still not heavily convinced, but I do think I'm convinced enough that Aston Villa will get the 3 points. So I'll go for a 1-0 win for Aston Villa. The last and final game on Saturday for Matchday 32 in the Premier League is, of course, at the King Power Stadium, where Leicester City will be taking on the Wolves. Leicester City in their last game got pinned to the wall like a red light district team when they took on Man City. And apart from that game, they have not been on any kind of form. But as for Wolves, they've been actually pretty decent. They really have. They've been scraping points. I don't think their performances have been all of that. They haven't been high caliber stuff, but they've been able to scrape points. And one of those points that they did scrape, or massive 3 points that they scraped, was against Chelsea during their recent run of form. Wolves, they are my favorites. I can't lie, but I think Leicester City will get something out of this game. But anyways, I do think this is going to be a very leveled game. I think it might be a snooze fest though. That's why I'm going to go for a 0-0 draw. And I can't lie, I kind of feel Leicester City might get the 3 points in this game. Heading into Sunday, we head over to St. James Park, where Newcastle will be taking on Tottenham Hotspur. Newcastle, they got absolutely ripped in their last game against Aston Villa. The defense from Newcastle was absolutely awful. As for Tottenham Hotspur, fam, they bottled it late in the game, fam, when they lost to Bournemouth. But aside from that game, they've just been absolutely awful. This is going to be a very interesting game. Going into St. James Park is never the easiest of tasks. Newcastle, they've done well there this season, so I do favor them, but I think Tottenham, they'll get something out of this game. I'm going to go for a 2-2 draw in this game. The last and final game for Matchday 32 in the Premier League is, of course, on Sunday at the Vitality Stadium, when Bournemouth will take on West Ham. I think this is going to be a really good game. Both teams in some pretty decent form, fam. Bournemouth, they got those massive 3 points against Tottenham Hotspur last weekend, and then West Ham, a massive 1 point against Arsenal last weekend. This is going to be a good game. I really do feel it is. It is for either side. I feel Bournemouth, or not, no, I would say West Ham, slightly for me are my favorites, ever so slightly, but Bournemouth, I think they have an equal opportunity to get 3 points. So with that being said, as much as I do believe this is going to be an equal game, I am going to choose a winner. I'm going to go for a 2-1 win for West Ham. Aside from that, of course, the FA Cup semi-finals, we have Man City taking on Sheffield United and Brighton taking on Man United. I really want to see a Manchester derby for the final of the FA Cup, City versus United. But I do have my doubts of that happening. I kind of feel that the final will be Man City versus Brighton. And lastly, ladies and gentlemen, of course, the Champions League semi-finals. We have Real Madrid taking on Man City and AC Milan taking on Inter Milan. Both games should be really, really good. I can't lie. I think both Italian teams, AC Milan and Inter Milan, they've been looking really good during the Champions League campaigns. And then Man City, for obvious reasons, they've been looking really good. They've got Haaland that's firing, and they've been playing good football. I did mention way early on in the beginning of the Champions League that City, for me, are my favorites to win the whole thing. I think they do have it in them. And with that being said, for me, the Champions League final this year will be Man City taking on AC Milan. That's just me, fam. And in terms of winner, I'm kind of split. Again, like I said, I think the Italian teams are looking good. AC Milan and Inter, they've just looked special, fam. They've looked like championship sides. And that's not to say that Man City haven't, but I don't know. It'd be cool to see an Italian team win it. It's been so long since that happened, but City, they are my favorites. As much as I think AC Milan can win it, City for me are still my favorites to go win the Champions League in Istanbul. But anyways, fam, I hope you lot did enjoy. If you did, like always, please make sure to like, share, and subscribe. Tell a friend. Let me know in the comments down below what match you're looking forward to the most, what player's going to play the best, what team is going to play the best. Also, your thoughts on the FA Cup semi-finals, who ultimately advances to the final, Champions League semi-finals, who will make it to the final and who will win it. Will it be a Spanish club, an English club, or an Italian club to ultimately lift the trophy in Istanbul? But anyways, fam, like always, I hope everyone's doing absolutely fantastic, and I will see you guys soon.